keep the baby. And now Ayeyi Boakye-Yadom is 8 years old despite her condition. She is excelling in her education. My colleague Richard Kojo-Nyako accompanied the gender minister to pay young Ayeyi a visit in her home in the central region town of Cape Coast.
A rare genetic condition with no cure she lives with. Doctors call it osteogenesis imperfecta, which simply means imperfectly formed bones. According to doctors, the genetic disorder can cause bones to break from little to no apparent cause.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How do you feel now that we have the gender minister visiting you?
I feel very happy.
8-year-old Ayeyi's hand could easily break even if she's waving at you. The little girl has lived through treatment for fractures since birth. Every breath or movement could cause her bones to break.
Mom said it wasn't easy because that was my first child and I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't understand why I should have a special child. And I didn't even know what it was. So from the onset it was very difficult, emotionally, physically. I didn't know how to face the world with the child and all that. But along the line with help from my family, some of my family members, I had to admit and take it up that yes, this is what God has given me and that I would go on all out with the child and then bring out every potential God has deposited in the child.
Justina Yadom Boakye, Ayeyi's mother, tells Joy News how difficult it's been right from the day scanning of the pregnancy was done to the advice of medical doctors to terminate the baby because of the condition.
I think my major challenge was what people would say. Stigma. I mean, I would be labeled, she has a special child, and I didn't know how society would take me with my child. So that was my major problem. I'm sure if I had hid her in my room, God would have frowned on me by now.
For now, she may not be able to walk, but Ayeyi has gradually learned to stand on her feet. Gender Minister Cynthia Morrison is encouraged by the turn of events and the enormous talent Ayeyi has. She has an advice for parents.
Children are gifts from God. Bible says before but we were clots of blood in our mother's womb, God knew us. And so whatever child that God gives to you, it is a gift from God. And if somebody gives you a gift, you have no choice but to receive it. The difficulty is that when you have special children and financially you are constrained, it becomes a big issue. How do you raise that child and all that? That is the problem. And then how to handle children and that. So we need parents to have a big heart and to say that once you get pregnant, and then you get a child, no matter who that child is, no matter how the child comes out, if you have the big heart to receive the child.
You unravel me with a melody. You sour.
Ayeyi Yadom Boakye sings to the admiration of the gender minister and her entourage who paid her a visit and showered her with gifts.
For my enemies.
Ayeyi's teacher, Isaac Harrison Arthur, is excited at the prospect of Ayeyi even in her condition. To the family, Ayeyi is a huge blessing and they will spend every resource to develop what God has hidden in her.
With her condition and looking at a normal child, that's no different. You don't see any different to that. From what I know from the parents, the support that they've been giving to her. So I would say that those with such children should be, in a way, try to also support their children.
Grandmother of Ayeyi, Juliana Baka, is optimistic God has a greater purpose for every child that is gifted any woman. For Joy News, Richard Kojo-Nyako from Cape Coast.
Now, residents of communities along the Chemu Lagoon in Choko can now heave a sigh of relief. This is because Member of Parliament for Abekuma West constituency, Ursula Osu-Ekufo, has constructed a bridge on the Chemu Lagoon for easy accessibility. Before the minister's intervention, residents living along the lagoon at Choko were forced to use a weak wooden bridge, posing a risk to pregnant women and children. Here's Nicholas Echo.